I'm holding hands. I'm doing a mukbang, beating the trauma into me.
LOL, they don't know how to stream.
Listen, if you like to play Candy Crush, like, you're a gamer to me, okay? A bitch talk a lot.
Your vocal cords must be so like lubricated and delicious.
It gets spicy in The Sims.
The crystal.
I want to buy one, yes! As you should.
I've got to, I should, and I want.
Name 3 heroes in this game and like, have you come across this?
Ramble.
Pretty basic.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Pretty Basic. This is a really exciting episode. I'm your co-host, Alisha Marie.
And I am Remi Cruz.
And if you are
And
watching...
I'm a big fan.
Oh my God.
I just came
you actually listen to, do you listen to the podcast?
Yes. Okay. I was telling her on my way up, like, I have had such a hot girl walk phase as of late. And I love listening to your podcast during it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Seriously. I remember, especially when I was taking a break recently, like a
we're gonna
month-long break.
we're gonna unpack
And
it.
I was watching your video about like, you know, burnout and all this stuff. And she was like, you need to just take a week, 2 weeks, a month. She was like, she's talking about me, man. A month. Bye.
Through right here, Poki, are you listening?
During that same time, essentially.
Wow.
Wait, this is crazy. If you're watching the YouTube video, you're like, who is this? If you're listening, guys, we have Pokimane here in the studio. This is Iman.
I'm honored.
We're going to call you Poki because that's so cute.
Poki.
I also really like Poki. Like, growing up, I always wished I had a nickname, but it's like Iman. You cannot shorten that. Like E.
I like
Yeah,
E.
just E. Actually, that would be cute. But it starts with an I, so it doesn't really make sense.
I get it.
We'll
I know.
take
I'm
Poki.
like Remi. I'm like, it's too short.
Rem.
Rem's
I call you
fine.
Rem all
Rem
the time.
and Remi
Remi.
are both so cute.
Thank you so much. What about you?
Well,
Alisha?
when I was little, I couldn't say
Allie?
Alicia, so I called myself Alita. And to this day, like my number one nickname is Lita.
It's so cute.
Alita is kind of
just
like
Lita.
Alicia and like Ali.
Alita.
Yeah.
It's very like alpha Alita.
Oh,
yeah.
I love
Baby name. You should have been your daughter's
My
name.
shit.
And note it for later.
Oh my God. Well, if you do not know who Iman is, I think you still have the title of like biggest female streamer. Is that correct?
I mean, most followed for sure.
Like
so I guess.
insanity.
Yes.
I mean, across all platforms, though, I feel like very early on, one of my goals was like just diversify as much as possible.
Okay.
So I always like hired people to work on different platforms. So yeah, I
That's
guess so. I
amazing.
don't like to say it about myself, but however someone else might describe it. Yeah.
That's one, congrats.
Thank you.
2, how do you do it all?
Yes.
Genuinely.
Big question. How do you do it all?
Well, as I said, hire help. It really takes a village, truly. You can't run like so many different forms of content and social media just as one person. Like your head will literally implode. But in that same breath, I feel like there was a point in time where that was my goal to like optimize and grind and grow all my platforms. But now I feel like my goals are very, very different. So I actually don't really do that as much anymore. But
Okay.
that's a whole different topic.
We'll
we
get
can
to that
into.
later for sure. Wait, so can you walk us through each one of the different platforms that you're currently on? Okay, walk us through that first so we know.
When I first started, like I went full time, I was probably streaming 6 times a week,
Oh my God.
like 6 to 8 hours or so. Okay, but listen to this. I already start spilling tea. I had a manager, hated.
Oh,
Hated
no.
him, yes. And he used to give me so much shit. He was like, 6 days a week for as long as you do is like not enough. You need to stream as much as like this guy does, which is like 10 to 12 hours every single day. And I was like, bro, I'm out here dying. Like, I can't smile for 6 hours every single day. That's a lot.
Overstimulation.
Yeah, and he would just give me a lot of shit. But I'm really glad that I still ended up kind of doing things my way and still being successful in the way that I wanted to do
look
it.
at you now,
Yeah, without having to conform. And anyways, we don't work together for a long time, so all good. But yeah.
I was like, well, I don't even think we could do one day of streaming. We should try for a video though. I don't think I could do it.
I lose my voice after doing one episode of this podcast. Like I truly, like your vocal cords must be so like lubricated and delicious.
Do you do warm-ups?
Yeah, do you warm up?
No.
Just go for it.
But I
Just
will
raw.
say, I appreciate the props, but I think it's so much easier when you have content to work off of,
Okay.
which is usually the game that you're playing. So it's like you're not talking 100% of the time. It's more so like you're commentating on something. And also when you just grow up playing a game for like 6 hours in a day, you get used to that. So then you're kind of just streaming yourself doing something that you would have been doing anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what, even now looking back, I'm like, damn, that was a lot back then. Because now, you know, I went from like 6 days a week to maybe 2 years ago, I would do like 4 scheduled. Oh. And now I'm like, maybe 2, maybe.
Okay, good though.
Yeah, but it's very much so because I want to diversify. And I started streaming when I was 17, almost 18.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's been 9 years or so.
Oh
so
my
I feel like I'm
gosh.
kind of just evolving out of it.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. So Twitch.
But also, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you've been doing content so long as well.
We could definitely relate. There's also only so many hours in a day. I mean, granted, for us, the podcast will take a couple hours to sit there and do for 6 to 8 hours multiple times a week. That takes a large chunk of your life
At least
away.
There's not much editing.
That is true.
There's pros and
but
cons.
Still.
But like 8 hours, like, do you like rush to the bathroom and come back? Like or when you're hungry, like do you just post? Like what? Like how does that work?
I think some people might do that. For me, though, I just go and come back, do what I need to do.
Just leave it going.
But a lot of people like don't like to eat on stream. I don't give a
I mean,
out here. I'm doing a mukbang every day for real.
So it's multiple. We got the
love
gaming,
it.
we
She's
got the
diversifying
mukbang.
already.
For real. Makeup, yes.
It's fun to do like get ready with me streams. Actually my favorite streaming thing is probably IRL trips. Like I've streamed going to Japan, Korea, Paris, and like you just walk around all day.
Do you worry about safety?
Yes, which is why I never ever do IRL streams in America.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Wait, so what do you
but elsewhere,
stream on?
I also never do it alone.
Okay,
Like,
good.
Usually there's a guy, his name's Jake. He's so great. He does a lot of IRL streams, and he'll carry, it's like a backpack with a camera, and we'll just like venture out together. Yeah, it's really fun.
And then how are you keeping like a live feed with that? I'm so curious.
Yeah, the backpack has like a modem and a bunch of SIM cards. Yeah, and just everything to cellularly connect and broadcast that feed to a server that then sends it to Twitch. It's a whole thing.
Blown.
So I have to be honest. I haven't like delved much more into Twitch than just the gaming world, but there must be like everything going on, every niche you could ever imagine.
Yes, and / but the difficulty that I found with Twitch, and also one of the reasons, and live streaming in general, mainly in America, maybe less so in Asia, because it's been around so much longer there.
Yeah.
But here, I feel like there's very much a cap to the audience. Whereas, like, let's say on TikTok or on YouTube, there are all kinds of niches that are like very active and poppin'.
Got it.
You can never really become like a popular streamer if like you're doing knitting, let's say. There's just not enough variety
isn't there, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could
Wow.
go a massive audience doing like knitting, crocheting, whatever, because so many different kinds of people use that platform. But live streaming is like very male dominated and gaming centric right now. Hopefully that'll change in the future, but
I mean, I correlate it with gaming.
Yeah, I
Like-
do too personally.
Versus like live streaming for makeup, because I think if we were to live stream a get ready with me, we would do it on
Instagram
or TikTok,
or
yeah.
YouTube before.
Exactly. You don't really
going
have
to
a
different
reason.
platform. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so you're on Twitch, but you also have YouTube,
Yes.
2 channels.
2 channels.
Dude, I've had channels. So I have my main one, which I used to post like a lot of gaming stuff, whatever. But I actually wanted to talk to you guys about this. Honestly, nowadays, all I want to do is like vlogs and lifestyle, answer questions, and
We were talking about that.
We were talking about your vlog channel.
She's a lifestyle girly.
When I was thinking about coming on the podcast today, I was like, this is a massive opportunity for me to pick your guys' brain. Like, I know you're supposed to be talking, like, I'm like, you guys are the guests for me.
Please, ask away.
Okay, obviously, you guys have so much experience in this field. For me, I'm so stuck thinking, like, I know the type and format of vlogs that I like to watch, but I'm stuck wondering, like, what's going to be my angle, if that makes sense. Like, some people, you know, they're like moms, or like they show you that part of their lives, or some people talk about like their dating lives or their boyfriend or their whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so weird because I'm usually not this way about anyone else's content but my own. I'm like, I don't know what the heck's interesting about me. Like, what do people even want to see?
Wait, what kind of vlog format do you like watching though?
I mean, even what you guys do, like just day in the life, getting ready. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're going shopping. I love like Jenim, Michelle Choi,
Jen.
you know?
Yeah.
a lot of people that you guys have had on. I love Jackie. I know. Oh
I love
queen.
Jackie.
Wait, but why don't you just do that? Like that, I would love to watch you do that.
Here's my thing already. We don't have a thing. Like, we really don't. Like, we like shopping. We like we just, I feel like there are other people who have like niches. Like on TikTok, I feel like you need a niche to grow. Even on YouTube, like to grow, like niches help you. But I feel like we've never had one. And I think that's why we've been able to do it for so long, because like they really follow your interests. And you have such a good personality. Like people are already watching. Like your vlogs are good. Your thumbnails are so good. Like literally, I was literally doing a deep dive and I was like, this bitch has I was like,
she's got unlocked.
I was like, I need to hire more people. I was like, how does she do it all? And not only that, we have an ASMR channel.
I'm flattered. Okay, actually, the ASMR channel I did like 4 years ago. And like a couple months ago, I decided I stopped doing it a very, very long time ago as well, like 3 years. I actually took down that whole channel, all the videos. Yeah, because I felt, actually, this is a very interesting thing that I'm curious if you guys will relate to, but being on the internet for so long, there are certain things in the past like I just don't really resonate with anymore. And it feels like when you have when you have channels up, it's almost like a portfolio of you. And I'm like, yeah, I maybe used to do that, but I don't really connect with that kind of both like audience and content anymore. So I was like, I'm gonna just close it. Like it was a chapter that I'm like happy with and I liked what I put out at that point. But time to change and evolve and move on.
I think that's so important.
I think that's amazing that you like, because you can obviously do it mentally, but to physically close it and be like, chapter done. I think that must have been so freeing for you too.
I mean, I like doing it, but part of me was like, am I doing something wrong?
No.
Yeah, and there's always going to be people that are like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I'm like, because I don't vibe with it anymore. I don't know how to tell you.
But you're allowed to do whatever you want. It's your videos. I mean, you can speak to that.
I mean, I privated a whole bunch of my old videos because at that point I was like, I know where I want to be. And like, I'm just still stuck in this mindset. So let me just private them all. And like, obviously people were like, don't do it. You're going to lose views. You're going to lose money. You're going to like, and I was like, I don't care about that. I just need to like refigure out who I am now and my brand. And like, I was so young then. And even how like people do put you in a box, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm the ASMR girly, or like, I'm the, when you are so much more than just one thing, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I love you.
You're so sweet. I'm so flattered because I was so hyped to be on this as an avid viewer, you know, but legit, I want to ask you guys like a billion questions. Please. But I'm glad you guys thought that that was like a decent thing to do.
Yes.
Also, the way I view it is if people are like, oh, you're going to lose views or lose this or lose that, I'm at a point in my life where like there is a certain kind of viewer that I would rather lose.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have ever had. I'm so happy. Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel so alone and confused in this sentiment and like low-key lost because I'm going through like a very transitional phase in regards to that.
And for years you're focusing on growing, so you're like grow, and now you're like, wait,
following trends.
I'd rather have quality people who actually like give a fuck about me versus just like some troll, you know?
For me personally, there was a time in my life too where I felt like I did like a lot of weight loss diet videos on my channel, and as I got older, I feel like I learned a lot more about diet culture and things that I was spewing that I don't agree with anymore. So I went back and privated those videos because I was like, I don't want someone to stumble upon that. But same thing, I think in that regard, I think we have full jurisdiction to just private or take down anything we just don't want up anymore. Yeah. And I agree with the audience saying like, I didn't want to be person with mine saying things that I don't believe in anymore and having new viewers come and watch that. I don't care if it gets more views. I just don't want to be spreading that information anymore if I truly don't believe in it. So that's how I feel about that.
I also like how it makes you just confident in yourself and your creativity, because to be able to close something that like has such potential and be like, no, I gave like my all into that and it did well for then, but now my next project I can give more. Like, I think that's really cool too. And that way it's less like, oh, I have to hold on to the past because I was relevant then. Like, I feel like that just makes, I don't know, it makes the evolving so much better.
I agree. And I feel like it makes me curious whether other people think about the same things as much. And I think oftentimes creators were very much prompted to by audiences and also just by successful terms to really just focus on like how to get views, how to do this, how to grow. But at some point, maybe it's a bit more about what you like to do,
Yeah.
how you're changing. Because also, sometimes it freaks me out to think some people are watching like 21-year-old me, and they might be coming to me expecting that.
Yes.
It's like, I am not the same person.
Yes, that was, I had a meeting with YouTube and they were showing me an overview of my channel. This was a few years ago. And I remember they basically implied, but didn't tell me to do it. Cause obviously like no platform wants to tell you what to do with your content. But they're like, yeah, a lot of your subscribers are subscribing from old videos. And I was like, damn it. Like, I'm putting out this new stuff. They're not focusing on it. Yeah. But of course, the videos that have the most views, which were filmed 6 years ago, and it's like so cringe to me, like they're getting the most views and like they're getting a lot of subscribers, but those people are subscribing and then I'm uploading like a truth or drink. That's so not what
Those are two different worlds, yeah.
So they basically were like, it would be interesting if you were to do that to see if you would like that. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. But doing it, I think it was the best thing ever. And what's been funny is like lately I've been, lately I only did it once. It's going to be a new thing.
It's happening.
It's a new thing. I like just for fun unprivated one and like tweeted it out and was like, just for shits and giggles, like here you guys go. And people were so excited. They're like, oh my God, like it was just fun. And and I feel like, I don't know, that was really fun.
That's so cute.
Yeah. And people were like living for it. So I was like, oh my God, like I can unprivate them now if I want to. And it can be like
looking back as opposed to a representation of who you are now.
Yes. I was going to say, so lifestyle, you really, really enjoy the lifestyle side.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, even what made me excited about streaming or content creation in the past is like, one, a bitch talk a lot. Shut up. How do you think I stream for 6 hours? Two, I just like to share my life. Like, it gives me so much fulfillment when someone's like, oh, you said something that really resonated with me or helped me get past this. Or when someone asks you a question and you might say something that's helpful. Actually, that's something my mom taught me. I love my mom. Something that I live by, she's like, never stop talking about your problems. Always open up. No, legit. She's like, because all it takes is one person to say something that changes your perspective.
I love that. That's
but
amazing.
if you never give other people this information, you'll never receive what you need.
That's
to hear.
Amazing.
You said, okay, oh my God.
My mom should be a YouTuber.
I should. No, because I've like never heard that perspective. Usually growing up with my mom, it's like, don't.
She's like,
keep it to yourself. Yeah, like keep it to yourself.
I know.
But that's true. I'm sure you've been able to work through so many of your problems by talking about it.
If anything, there was like points in times where something might happen to me and I almost felt worse because I felt like I had to keep it in. And I would do that for like a week or two and just be like really brought down by whatever was on my mind. Yeah. But then when I just sit down and I talk about it, obviously in a way that makes me comfortable with the parameters that I like, it really just like alleviates that stress completely off. You're like, oh, I talked about it and the world didn't end.
And I feel better.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, that maybe might not be like the craziest thing ever. I do that. If I have a problem, I talk to her. I talk to like 5 people. I say it 5 times. I'm like, suddenly I'm fine now.
Yes. What is it about that?
I think it's just cathartic. You're just like, you know what? Why are you bothered? I'm not bothered anymore now. It's fine.
Well, it's almost like a weight, and like you just give a little bit, and like a little bit.
5
and
pounds
this person's
here,
like, this is dumb, and they throw it away. And you're like, oh, this weight is kind of gone actually.
It's so true. Because if you keep it in, you have this like internal monologue and you're letting it fester, like it becomes bigger and snowballs. But if I talk to about 5 people by that time, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Yeah. And then I forget about it.
You're like, oh, I'm over it.
Yeah, why are you over it? I'm over it. That's exactly what I do too.
Oh my God.
As you should.
Would love to introduce you to a long-term partner and friend of our show, Macy's.
You guys, I mean, obviously Vlogmas is coming around. That's a huge tradition for Alisha and I, but I cannot wait to decorate my house. I can't wait to put up the tree. I can't wait to bake cookies. I'm just so excited. This is truly my favorite time of the year. I feel like I just come alive right now, and I cannot wait to just have all my holiday traditions come true. Also, I just can't wait to have my own family one day to like really go all out. But for now, so whatever your holiday traditions are, Macy's wants you to fully own them and turn your house into a home for the holidays. There's nothing more special than being in a place for the holidays that you can really call home with candles and blankets and decorations that really put you into the holiday spirit, your own unique holiday spirit.
So whether that means gingerbread houses, scented decor, or plush pajamas, or velvety dresses, whatever your vibe, just trust us. You can lean on Macy's for it all.
You guys, this Christmas, I'm actually spending my first Christmas in my house, which is crazy because I've already lived there for 3 years, but it's my first Christmas at home. I cannot wait. My whole family's coming over. I'm doing like the whole 9 yards. So I can't wait to get some really cute like table decor and just everything from Macy's. It's going to be so much fun. So let them help you out at Macy's.com/ownyourstyle. That's Macy's.com/ownyourstyle.
I watched your burnout video and I have never heard, I mean, coming from mine, which was a snot-filled crying mess.
I loved it.
Yeah, thank you.
Really?
But yours was, you were so eloquently spoken, and I've never
I
seen.
wrote it down.
You're like, bitch, I had
Your
a script.
your teleprompter.
No, but
I'm directing myself.
some of the things you said, I was like blown away with. I like literally
thank
fucking
you.
wrote shit in my phone.
I'm
The
She's
one
gonna read
about
it
like
before Ben.
like needing to exhale. Can you explain that analogy for everyone? Like before you can take a breath in. Do you remember that?
Oh, the comic.
I love that. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So basically, the analogy, it's a really, really cute comic as well, where he's saying, like, sometimes when you're creating content or you're being creative in some way, or even like you're talking, it's almost like you're exhaling. You're putting something out there. But at one point, it's like you need to inhale in order to say anything else or in order to produce more or continue a project. And for me, inhaling is like taking a break, taking time to like watch documentaries or explore passions that I have without having to document everything and output. Like
not
at
feel
some point,
bad.
you need to breathe in to breathe out.
Yeah.
And really, especially streaming, it feels like just constant. I can't breathe anymore.
Just
like,
hyperventilating.
yeah. You really need to take some space away in order to not be constantly outputting.
So,
I love.
so true. How do you decide what you're going to document and what you don't document, though?
That's for sure a process.
Uh-huh.
And even now with vlogging, it's been hard to figure out what should stay in, what should not.
Yeah.
I think with streaming, something that's very difficult with streaming is that due to the long form formats, people grow kind of parasocial relationships sometimes. It's very easy to when you're essentially sitting with someone for 6 hours day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
Inside jokes.
Yeah. And there's the upside of like very sticky connections with your audience, but the downside of sometimes people start almost like psychoanalyzing you or wondering too much about your life. So actually throughout my career, there have just been like more private things that I just like draw the boundary, like that will not be discussed.
Okay.
Aside from that, just keep it general, still open up when you need to. I really like just talking about like day-to-day things.
Yeah. More
Sharing your
mundane
life
stuff
that
sometimes,
way.
too.
Yeah.
Because you want to feel connected to your audience, but you still have to have that boundary of like, I'm not going to talk about this relationship, or I also don't want people, I don't want stalkers or like that kind of stuff too.
Yes.
So like,
It's tough in this industry, no matter how hard you try. Like every female streamer has that problem.
and that's what's
especially.
interesting. If like streaming alone, female streaming alone, like it is very, very intimate. Like it's very, very intimate. So I don't even know how you deal with that.
What's your demographic? Sorry to cut you off.
So it varies so differently depending on the platform and the type of content. Like I love TikTok
Oh my God.
because of the highest female demo. Like some videos, for me, having like 60% female viewership on a video is insane.
Are you kidding?
That's good.
Yeah. For me, yes. No, not just me, anyone in gaming. The guys in gaming, their demo is like 95 guys, 5% girls. Whereas for me, even within gaming, it's probably more around like 30, 40. But on TikTok, it goes like even higher and beyond. Actually, I was mentioning this to her as well, which I wanted to talk to you guys about. For me, I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of tired of like male demos.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm sure it's exhausting.
Yeah, seeing your guys' female demo, like that's like a dream to me.
Oh my God.
But I'm
Everyone,
like,
subscribe.
are there even downsides to that? Because I'm not sure if I'm having like a grass is greener moment or if like the grass really just is greener.
Honestly,
That's a really good question.
I know I've never been asked that, but what's interesting is when we started, I mean, it was like 96% female, 4% male. My male demo has definitely gone up since being friends with her, but I know it's the gays. Like genuinely, like I don't know. There's not many straight guys who watch us.
I'd say mine's like 92.8.
Yeah, I would probably say like 90-10
around that. I do think
I mean,
really good
I do want to
question.
say so many of the guys that follow me are great.
Oh, I'm sure.
They
but
really
I
are.
I can only imagine.
But just within that industry, there's so many like weirdo, toxic people that like hate watch.
Yes.
Or like they're like fetishizing you, or they're like just getting like it's just too much and
uncomfortable.
Even like a lot of our friends who are like more Instagram like models or like that kind of stuff, they have a huge male demo, and some of their comments I'm like, oh my, like if I get one every now and then, I'm like, okay, that's like I can deal with that. You know what I mean? But like every comment to like
the audacity. That's what they have, the audacity.
Like treating you like a character almost. And that's when I'm like, how?
It makes you think like, do you not realize these comments are public?
Yeah, truly.
Do you ever like think about what
like you go to their profile, they have a whole fucking family, and you're like, oh.
Yes.
Literally, yes.
I have so many like internal dilemmas of like, how should I handle this? And my brain likes to just like play them out. I'm like, part of me wants to just make a video roast out of some of these guys.
Username over.
Yeah.
And over.
And then I'm like, should I message them and tell them they're being weird? Like they need to know.
But then you're like, fuck my safety.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
She's like, oh, not worth my time. I'd be cleaning up the internet forever if I'm doing this for real.
That's not your job. That's not your job.
Oh my God. I mean, I feel like we've gotten so lucky, and we can only speak for ourselves, but like our audiences have been like just amazing. But like
they seem amazing.
they're so nice. Like even at meetups, like everyone's so just nice.
Oh my God, yeah. Whenever girls come up to me, like, be my sister. Can I adopt
Like,
you?
can we hang?
Yeah.
Love it.
Like, I love them so much. And a guy will be like, can I have a photo? And I'm like, yeah. And a girl, I'm like, I just love them.
I feel like
Yeah.
the difference, I've never really thought about it. I imagine that having a predominantly male audience, the comments would just be like sexual and like
I
gross.
do think over time, I've made it very, very clear, like the kind of community and audience that I want. So most guys in my community are really, really nice. Like my community. But having grown to the like notoriety.
The level that you're at,
Yeah. I became almost like a figurehead for female streamers, and that's what brought along like guys that just like want to hate watch or hate comment or whatever, like
People
that
watching
kind
you
of
move,
toxicity. Yeah. But I recognize it doesn't have that much to do with me. It has a lot more to do with the space that I'm in, where that's just a bit more common, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping with time, oh my God, I feel like you guys will not be able to relate to this at all, but I do this thing where like I intentionally try to filter. Oh my God, it's like when you go on a date with a guy and you say something to just like test them.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like, do you have like low-key misogynistic vibes or
yeah.
not? Are you low-key bigoted in some way? Like you just say something really out there.
Like outlandish.
Yeah, making it
they
very
react.
clear what I think. How do you feel about that? I try to do that to like just filter my audience.
Yes.
Wait, and then you're just like block,
You're like
block,
gaslighting
block.
them,
Yes. Yes. And I love it.
That's really good.
I love
a good little block button action.
Yes.
When you're streaming, do you have like a comment moderator who's doing that, or are you physically like talking and doing
Really
it at the same
pop
time?
1, like 10. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And bots, which are like, I mean, like it's a bot that programs to remove like certain types of comments and things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, moderation is so important when it comes to live streaming.
Just so people who are listening who don't know you, like how many views do you get on average for like a live stream?
Probably like 10 to 20,000.
Damn. For 8 hours?
Yeah. Well, nowadays my 8-hour streams are a little more unlikely, but yeah, I'll do like a solid 3 to 5.
Oh, I'm excited if there's like 1,000 people in a live.
wait,
And that's
let me tell you guys
consistent too, right? Like that number. It's like when they stay.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I would say like that's a decent average ish for me,
The
but
highest?
it does like spike and kind of go down. My my favorite part of like my streaming career was when I was in Korea. This was actually like 3-4 months ago. I was in Korea and I was shopping with Jake for like 12 hours with 32,000 viewers.
That's my
Like,
dream.
I know. No, I was sitting there like, this is my dream. And the people loved it, which I didn't really understand. I mean, I kind of get it, but I was surprised.
No, you're tapping. You're like, I want to do lifestyle. I'm like, no, like you're like,
I just want
you're
to
doing it.
shop
You're living,
for
breathing it.
12
Okay.
hours,
Okay.
and that's work somehow. Bitch, what the
what's interesting is on our
I loved
end,
it.
we're having like every platform is coming out with their shopping program essentially, where it's like, hi guys, buy this that's like linked here, right? Like you could like
No, they need to do it as like an experience where like you go in and you're looking at stuff and then you try stuff on. I don't like the live stream ones where like they just stand there and they're like, look at
my
this
shirt.
shirt.
I've seen like the lipstick
No,
one.
yeah, I'm like, I want to feel like I'm shopping with you at the mall.
It's a live
Which I think is what we
It's
did.
live. Remi, we can
It's
do
a live
that.
vlog,
Yes.
live haul.
Yes,
Okay.
you should.
Wait, so
We
are you
should-
interacting with people, or are you literally just like, because is there a screen that you're reading off of, or is he literally just like filming himself?
So Jake has the camera,
Uh-huh.
and I have like the Twitch app open where I can see the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes he'll be talking to them. Sometimes he'll film me,
Sorry, my
like picking
face.
stuff out. Yeah, no, it was legit like the highlight. I mean, there have been cooler things, and I've gotten more viewership for like gaming, so whatever. But I was like, shopping, and people liked it. I was so happy.
It's just a match made in heaven.
Yes.
Wow.
I would watch that. Like, I would fucking watch that.
Especially in Korea too.
And
I
no
feel like there's
one's
such a
doing
fascination
it.
with like Korea,
Korea
Japan.
shopping is
So
Oh,
good.
I wanna go so
What were you
bad.
shopping for?
everything. Like the main thing was I wanted to look at brands that aren't available in America.
Okay.
There's this amazing one. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's like Sexy Mix. It's like
Oh.
XEXY Mix.
Oh.
Okay.
Their store was amazing. I went back like 3 times, but just seeing like the different kinds of brands, and honestly, their style is like a little bit forward in
Yeah.
comparison to ours. It
Yeah.
was so fun. And yeah, sometimes he would film me, and it was really nice because not doing it solo means that like he can stand outside of the change room, and if I want to try stuff on, I can.
Yes.
So I still have that experience, and like I can also show it and be like, what did you guys think? You know,
It's like when we first
So
worked
fun.
with the videographer being like, whoa, this whole world. Like, I don't have to do the camera. Like,
Exactly.
oh my gosh. Okay, do more of that. Like, live shop, like, do the live lifestyle
Oh,
shit. Like,
so fun.
because there's so much more than just get ready with me. You know what I mean?
For
It's
sure.
very like an unexplored
Yes.
space, I
But like,
think.
why?
I think,
Insane.
honestly, in my opinion, because streaming,
Is
In this-
nailed- yeah.
yeah, and it is coming from gaming. I do think TikTok live streaming will push that boundary a little
Yeah.
bit because people will TikTok live stream like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gone down rabbit
Anything.
hole. Literally, I've gone down rabbit. I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
For like an hour. I'm
Oh,
like,
me too.
why
The girl with the crystals, where she's in like the crystal.
Yo, I
don't
love
get it.
those
I don't even know what it is.
My
I
best
love
friend
those
got
so
one.
much. I want to buy one. Yes, I want to sit at home like, don't.
Oh my god, yes, it looks like so much fun.
Yeah,
we were
which
on a
one I
trip
get?
and she called her boyfriend every day incessantly, and he was like, he's a lawyer. He's like, I'm at work. She's like, my crystals arrived. Please open the box. I need a haul. I was like, calm
Yes.
down. He's busy. It's
So
amazing.
fun.
Isn't YouTube doing gaming streaming as well now
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like a little bit in a different area.
Yeah.
So it's a little segregated in that regard. Actually, this is so random, but I wanted to mention this at the beginning of the podcast and I totally forgot. Did you guys know that I went to the same high school as Lauren?
Wait,
No.
no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes. The same itty bitty
they're
high school
Canadian,
in the
but I have
middle
In
of
St. Catharines?
Buttrick. Yes.
No.
And my brother was friends with her.
Wait.
My older brother. They were in the same grade, I'm pretty sure. What? Yes. And growing up, or like being in high school, I think
Wait, that's so
either she
weird.
was a senior when I was a freshman or she graduated right as I went into high school. But
Oh my
either way, you know, she was like known as like the cool YouTuber.
Oh, she was the
girl.
Tumblr
Like
girl?
she got the heck out of this small town. She made it.
Like, I can do
I was like, yes.
Wait, have you
And
guys
then-
ever talked about this?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't recall if we had followed each other before, but we ended up being at like the same party in LA like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
What?
So, like,
heck?
Small world.
Small little
Oh,
town outside of
yeah.
Toronto, right? Oh my god.
Actually, there was a point in time, I think like 4 years ago, where I was like, I was burnt out again. I was like, Lauren, how the hell have you been making content so long? Yeah, I texted her, even if like we're not that close.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
She's
I
the
Oh,
best.
she's the best.
I love
She's the
her.
best.
Like a little baby angel walking around. Yeah, and I was, because I didn't know that many people, especially in other industries, who had been doing it a long time. I was like, what do you do? And it's like, just evolve, like find a way to make it fun for yourself
Yeah.
again.
To be like, like feel creative again versus like, wow.
Yeah, I think burnout just comes from doing the same thing too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, at first, the reward feels amazing. You know, when you get out of bed and you're so excited to edit, you're so excited to stream or create or whatever, and then slowly but surely you're like less and less and less excited. And there is a line where it's like, okay, I'm going to work now, so I need to go do this. But then there's also a line of like, I need to be stimulated like creatively when your job is to create something, whether it's music, you know, movies, whatever. So
I
it's
do
just-
think it's a bit tough because when it comes to putting yourself out there creatively in some form, as much as it might turn into your work or you want to look at it as work, there's an aspect to it that makes it so different from work, which is like, there was a point where I worked as a Best Buy tech rep at like 17. Okay. And if I was burnt out from that job or like I didn't really like it, I could pull up and still do my work and be annoyed, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I cannot stream while being like sad as shit.
Oh
Like,
my God, yeah.
I'm not an actress. I can't.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's an aspect to that when there's a creative component that like you have to be there emotionally, mentally, creatively. Otherwise, like whatever you make is not as good.
Yeah.
So
It's
burnout
hard
is a
finding that
little
line.
tougher
Yeah.
in there. Yeah, it's harder to push yourself.
It is.
When it's that kind of work.
What-
Although I'm very lucky and grateful to be doing this.
Oh,
for sure.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
It's not to say.
Since you've been doing this for so long, was there a moment where you were thinking, oh my God, I can actually go down this and have a career from this? Or was it slow? Was it like a conscious decision?
So I started streaming when I was 17 as a hobby, like in high school, right?
After Best Buy, in between shifts.
After after my Best Buy.
In between shifts.
Yeah. And it was pretty fun, but I didn't make like a crazy amount of money at all. And also streaming in general wasn't that built out at the time.
Was that on Twitch at the time? Did you
Yes.
start on Twitch? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Actually before Twitch, like there's been people who've been streaming since like 2011, 2010, maybe
Oh my
even
God.
earlier. Twitch used to be known as like Justin TV. So I have female streamer friends who have been on it since like it was known as something else.
Wow.
Yeah. And I kept doing that. I still went to university and I studied engineering.
Wait,
No way.
Love that.
Oh my goodness. Women in STEM.
Yeah, but the male dominated fields just like,
Yeah,
she's
you
like
just-
beating the trauma into
Fuck
me.
the patriarchy.
Let me go.
I love that.
So I did that and I would stream on the side. So imagine like engineering credits, streaming. I had zero social life. I went to like 2 college parties. So sad. But during my second year, there was a month where like people started doing brand partnerships and stuff in streaming. And that's when I was like, oh, like there's actual money to be made. Whereas before then, it was mainly like subscriptions and donations, which fluctuate a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, it's like, oh, if it's not a steady income, like I can't really take a chance
Can't
on it.
rely for rent that way.
Exactly. But when sponsorships joined in, and 1 month in particular, I started working with like an agency and they brought me like a certain amount of deals where I made like 10K in a month. And when you're in college, yeah, I was like, that's half of my college debt.
Yeah.
Like a raise.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like
So-
who wouldn't do it?
Bro, I made my parents a PowerPoint.
Oh, as to why you should drop out of school?
Yes.
As you should. Like,
Because I come from like a Middle Eastern family.
Okay.
We all like immigrated to Canada when I was 4 years
Oh
old.
my
So, you know, they're like, you're becoming an engineer,
You're going to
a
school.
doctor,
Yep.
or a lawyer,
Yep.
and that's it. So I was like, I got to break it down to a PowerPoint. So this is my projected revenue. And my pitch was like, just let me take 1 year off.
Oh.
That was
Worst,
me. I did the
really?
same thing.
Yeah. And I was like, worst case scenario, I pay
I'm
off
behind
my
1 year.
debt.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad at all. Best case scenario, like who knows? I ain't never going back to school.
That was me. I was like, please work out. Please work out. I do not want to go back. I do not want to go back.
Yeah.
Wait, so did they say yes right after the PowerPoint? Was it convincing?
Luckily, actually, surprisingly, my dad was really on board with it.
My dad too.
Really?
My mom was like, no, you're
Yeah.
going back.
Dude, for like 4 years, my mom was like, so sweetie, like, are you going to come back to Canada and finish your degree? I'm like, yeah.
Wait, so for that year
actually.
break, you came here.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay. Wow.
immediately
So that
came-
was like not only
It was like a
taking a
big,
break from school, I'm going to move to LA.
Yes.
And pursue this. Wow.
big leap because I was like, if I'm going in, I'm going all in, baby.
You are such an
for
all or
you.
nothing bitch, and I am too.
I really
love it.
She said, I'm deleting the channel.
Type A personality, we're going 100%.
I mean, just delete the whole channel.
I'll just delete the whole channel.
F it. What's the worst that can happen for
Oh, that's well, I'm glad it worked out for you, obviously. That's great.
I'm glad it worked out for all of us.
Honestly.
Thank you. So glad we could be sitting here to talk
And
today.
it's because of you. So thank you so much.
Thank
for
you, guys.
loving and subscribing. Okay. So many things. What's like a dream brand you'd love to work with?
Oh my God.
I'm assuming something in fashion, but maybe not.
I actually haven't thought of one as of late, so we'll see.
Especially doing more lifestyle shit. I'm like, speak it
Yeah.
out there.
We'll
You know what I mean?
As I
I'd love
explore,
to see.
I'll keep you updated on that one.
Please do. Okay, so I have a question. I want to talk about gaming, obviously. We've kind of like bounced around, but strictly with gaming. Do you, since you're cutting back on streaming and doing more lifestyle things, have you lost a little bit of interest in gaming overall, would you say? Yeah.
It's weird. Maybe that's why I feel like a totally different person.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm touching grass. I'm different.
Touch grass. She's like, I went to a party.
So it's crazy to me to go like a month gaming maybe like 3 or 4 times. Because in the past, and also it's been a bit weird socially because my whole social circle revolved around streaming and gaming.
Yeah.
And when you're in that world, like you're doing that every day for 4 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you step out of that world, one, it becomes a little bit more difficult to connect with certain friends. And 2, honestly, I swear your brain chemistry just changes a little bit. And it's also just been nice. Like I've gotten to re-explore it as like just a hobby and something to do for fun every now and then, as opposed to like, I need to wake up and I need to do this for this amount of time.
Wow.
All of a sudden, when you stop needing to do something, it becomes a lot more
more fun.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more enticing.
Wait, I'm so happy for you. That's really great.
A single tear comes down.
I feel like I can see that you're happy.
I really am.
Oh, my heart is so touched.
Do you did you make your own schedule now, or do you have is there anyone on your team that's like telling you when to do things at all?
No, I'm like, don't talk to me.
Good.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm not answering.
Before it was very much like, okay, I'm going to hire like a social media person, a YouTube manager, a this, a that. I feel like I almost like flicked a switch where I'm like, I only care to put out things that I feel are like really me. And I only care to do things that I want to do for fun. I used to, oh my God, my therapist told me this. He was like, this was in the past, but he was like, you have a bad case of the shoulds. I used to always do things because I felt like I should. That was a lot of just like childhood, like built into me, like what you should do, what be a good girl, do the right thing. Yeah. And then, and over time, now it's just wants. And he's like, you need to focus on just what you want to do. And I would have these like full blown dilemmas where I'm like, do I do this? Do I not? And like, I feel like I really should. I should. And I'm like, and he would tell me, okay, but what do you want to do? Have you even thought about that? And I was like, wait a second, I didn't at all. So yeah, now I'm like, okay, my 2 criteria, at least for now, for this phase of my life, is like, what I need to want to do it like this. I hella wanted to do this.
So cute.
Yeah, and what I like and what I resonate with, so that hopefully over time, my audience will reflect that a lot more.
Wow.
So many things. One, that just reflects the breathing in, breathing out, analogy, like breathing in what you want to. 2, my therapist told me the exact same thing. She's like, get rid of should from your vocabulary. And like, I didn't think about adding the want. I love that. Yeah. Love that.
I want to.
Do I want to?
I feel like at the end of the day, whatever you do will be so much better when you want to freaking do it.
Yeah. And obviously there's times where you're like, okay, like I gotta push it, whatever.
Actually, that's been my trouble as of late.
You're like, I don't want to. And you're like,
No,
well, actually,
I think there's I've got to, I should, and I want. Those are all 3 different sectors.
Yes. Whatever
I'm
you
learning
want to tell
to manage,
yourself to
learning.
make it work.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Well, not like it's a big deal, but I used to be a gamer.
Oh, really? Okay.
She played Sims.
Wait, I want to. I love The Sims.
I
Actually,
played Roller Coaster Tycoon.
The Sims category is a unicorn within gaming.
Oh.
It is the only game it's the only game in category that is like 95% girls.
Oh,
and we love it.
It's like playing house.
Yeah.
It's a safe
And you know what's
safe
crazy?
space.
I actually feel like so many girls that I meet and come across are like, yeah, I used to play this game, or I play this, or I play that. But I feel like the term gamer has been gate kept by people so much. It's like, listen, if you like to play Candy Crush, like you're a gamer to
a
me,
gamer.
okay?
Yeah.
We all like gaming. To me, gaming,
Pajama Sam.
it's like
Literally.
it's like reading. No one's gonna be like, I hate books.
You're
It's
not
like
a
you
real
just-
reader.
Yeah, you haven't
Yes.
found a book that you like.
So like when I hear gamer, I definitely the type of guy that I sense being like,
Cal.
you're not a real gamer.
Cal.
Yeah, and then they start interrogating you like,
gamer.
oh yeah, well, like,
You need the setup.
name 3 heroes in this game, and like, have you come across this?
Never mind, Cal's not like that. I take it back. Sorry,
like,
Cal.
take it back,
Sorry,
baby.
Cal. I love you so much.
My go-to was Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, that's like
I know.
real
I was
gamer.
rude.
I never actually beat it because
I'm
just
proud of you,
fucking
nonetheless.
But that was an era of my life, and I am obsessed with the name Kyrie, and I would love to name my daughter Kyrie.
Right.
That's a
I know,
beautiful
and I dressed
name.
up for her as Halloween one time, like obsessed. But I also love Disney, so that's where the Final Fantasy moment.
Yes, that makes
Final
sense.
Fantasy. Okay.
Yep. Final
What
Fantasy
games
is a
do you
beautiful
play?
game. Nowadays, I've actually been liking some mobile games.
Oh, okay.
Just like random ones. I think it's called like Soul Night, and like my friends play it, and we'll just sit beside each other and play.
Okay.
And then I'll play like a bit of Overwatch every now and then with friends.
Wait,
But
can we stream
fun.
with you and do a game? I would fucking love.
yeah,
That'd be so
I
fun.
would love that.
I would love.
We could play The Sims.
Oh my god, it could be anything. I just want to like.
I've
Animal
always,
Crossing.
I've
Nintendogs.
always wanted to have like a Sims arc where I create like a whole storyline with characters that have like drama and stuff.
I would love that. I never thought to do that.
Also, I have watched certain Sim videos and I am baffled by how much things have developed.
Oh my god, the
Like,
original one?
Your Sims will do anything now. They'll like twerk and stuff. Like, like your Sims have like interpersonal dynamics. It's very fascinating.
I honestly, I played the first and second one. That was it. So I haven't even played all the new ones.
No, the Sims have evolved more than people give them credit for. Damn. It's a reality TV show. I love reality TV, but as a game.
And you control it.
Yes.
You're like, this person's going to hook up with that person.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a baby.
Honestly, I feel
They're
like
gonna make a
if you're watching a reality TV show or a movie and you're like, ooh, like I want them to confront this person or do
Yes.
this, you just choose that in the game.
Oh my God.
Wait, I've like
so
never
fun.
played Sims. Do you tell them what to say? Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, it first started where like you build houses. Like you, in order to have like good friendships, you have to be like, oh, go talk to this person. Like you kind of instruct them what to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it is now. Like they still are their own.
You
It's kind of like Tamagotchi, but on crack, right?
You can make your Sims take shots and stuff.
Oh my God.
And like you can make like, let's say you have a house of like 3 girl Sims, you can like make them invite their boyfriends over, and then they're like, ooh, let's make a martini, let's do this, and then they,
Wait,
it gets spicy.
Are
in the
they
Sims.
talking? How do they talk?
It's sim language.
Yeah, it's
No.
like
Like, you
I don't know how to
can't
do it,
understand
but
But it'd be like talk to Remi, and then you'd see me go over and be like, da 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 da.
And are you
da, da.
typing what they're saying?
No, they just talk in a language.
but you
don't
can
know.
kind of instruct them on what to do.
It's like,
I see.
Like
Okay,
give them
okay.
a compliment.
But
like,
yeah, but then you see how they interact. I was just baffled that like
take shots.
They're twerking and taking shots and making
They
babies.
said modern.
making babies.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
2022.
Yeah.
I remember I used to always, oh my God, with my Sims, I used to either like make them die so their ghost would appear. Like that was such a thing. And then I'd have nightmares about the fucking ghost appearing in my, like I was like, I was
That's so funny.
And then, if you wanted them to make a baby, you just had to have them kiss over and over and over again. Where now
And
they
the baby
fucking
would just
Yeah.
pop out.
yeah, it'd be like, do you want a baby, or like you out of a baby? Like it was
Did you
whatever.
think that
I think
that's
you
how
can have
babies are
Sims with
made?
like BBLs now. It's amazing.
Oh my God, no, I'm like now,
and
they
I'm here
probably-
for it. There's so much variety in like what
Oh
you
my
can
God.
do. It's so fun.
Or it-
Did you think babies were made by kissing for a while?
Oh yeah, before Sims, I remember being like, okay, so like when I get a boyfriend, I'm gonna like kiss him a lot, but not to where I have a baby. Only to when I kiss him a lot. But like literally, I remember
Twice
thinking
per day. That's the max. Once
Yeah.
you get to 3,
Did
You
your
might be
parents ever have the
pregnant.
talk with you?
that. Have we never talked about this on an episode?
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
When did you
Season
have
5.
the talk? Okay, I
Oh my
guess
God.
We'll,
No.
we'll file that back for
Honestly,
later.
it's very anticlimactic because like I feel like I never did,
Okay.
but I just figured it out. Like
From Sims.
literally, probably from Sims. I was like, why do they have to be naked? Why are they taking their clothes off?
Did your parents have the talk with you?
absolutely not. Actually, that was gonna be one of my 2 truths, 1 lie. We don't need to do it.
I didn't even
We
prep.
just jumped
Don't,
right into
it's
it.
too much. But I was gonna say, like, one of the things was gonna be like, my parents didn't let me date until I was 18. But that was the lie. My parents
Still no.
It's like you're single until you're married. If you're gonna introduce someone to us, that's your husband. Point blank parent. Actually, the funniest story that I don't think I ever told this before. In high school once, my dad caught me holding hands with a guy.
Oh my God.
And imagine, just picture this, okay?
St. Catherine's.
Yes, St. Catherine's. I'm walking home with him, and it's a point in time where, like, my parents should be at work. I'm holding hands, whatever. My dad drives by, sees us, pulls over.
No.
Yeah. Comes out of the car, talks to the guy that I'm holding hands with. Poor guy, he's so sweet. Starts interrogating him like, are you going to marry my daughter? No. And he's like, well, sir, like, I would like to someday. And he's like, if you're not going to, don't, like, don't be involved if that's not for the purposes of marriage.
Wait, was he like your boyfriend or just like
Yeah, he's like the guy that I was seeing, which is
okay.
really cute. And I was
That's
like,
like movie.
Baba, stop!
Oh my my God.
That's an actual movie.
Wait, that's so sweet though.
Poor guy. Did he break up with you right afterwards? Was he scared?
No, actually, he was so sweet and understanding. Thank God.
And you're married now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll introduce my husband to you guys someday.
Yeah, you're like, we're engaged.
At the wedding, they can meet him.
At the wedding, basically.
Instead of a first glance with you guys, it's like your parents.
Tell me a first glance with them.
Yeah. Actually, I think boy stuff would be so fun to talk to you guys about for a couple reasons. One, I'm so curious. Actually, I don't know if you guys have dated that many people in your industry, but I feel like streamer guys must be very different from YouTuber guys.
Wait, tell us everything.
Oh my God,
What's it like to date a streamer guy?
What's everything? There's too much. Like,
well, especially with there not being many females. Where I feel like for us, it's the opposite. There's so many female YouTubers, not many guys.
Growing up, I mean, I always watched like beauty content, and I was very much in that space as a viewer. And I loved like relationship content.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute. And I heard that like some girls will even almost like hire a boyfriend, you know? But in our industry, it was very different, especially in the past. Like if you had a boyfriend, guys were so ruthless to you. Like they'd be like, you're only with him for the clout. Like you're just trying to leech off of him. Blah, blah, blah. They were the worst to girls. Oh my God, listen to this.
I'm just jealous.
They don't do this in the NBA, but they do this in like gaming and esports. If a guy who's a professional gamer loses a game, they would blame their girlfriend.
Stop.
Yeah. Like what? Things have gotten a lot better since then, luckily, but it was crazy. And so I made a pact with myself. I mean, aside from my parents being like, you know, husband only, I was like, I'm never going to talk about my dating life publicly because I don't want people to attribute any success that I have to who I'm dating.
Yeah.
And instead, like, if guys want to find a way to shit on you, they're going to find a way. It doesn't matter what you do. Instead of saying like, oh, whoever you're dating is like for attention, they're like, oh, you're not talking about your dating life also for attention. Like you want people to think you're single. And I'm like,
oh my God.
bro, there's no winning here. Like, what do you want
You really
from
can't
me?
win.
Oh,
You
so they're
can't win.
thinking it was like you're trying to look single to get more
Yes.
viewers? Oh my
Yes.
God.
And I'm like, I'm just trying to avoid a shitstorm, but I get a shitstorm anyways.
You can't win.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's not even to go into like how streamer guys are.
Oh my God.
But you guys tell me about, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys have really dated YouTubers or if there's like a
No, it's
stereotype
just so interesting
kind of.
because it literally is the opposite because there's so many, like, I have so many awesome, like, female friends and we're like, there's, like, no guys in this industry. But on yours, it's the complete opposite because I always wonder, I'm like, what's it like to be a guy YouTuber where you have or influencer where you have all of these girls, like, hitting you up in the DMs where I'm like, you probably have so many guys up in your DMs.
Yeah, but ew. I'd rather have girlies in my DMs.
You're like, hey, let's hang out.
I mean, it does make for some good stories sometimes. Like, I'll tell you guys later. But
I was like,
I want to hear
I'm
everything.
trying to figure out some things. I mean, musicians and athletes are really into the gamer girlies. Yeah. But obviously, like, the thing is, like, I know none of them are here for, like, a long-term relationship where I can introduce you to my parents as my husband.
Yeah.
Like, so
We're not here for
there's
the
no
wedding.
real use in me responding anyways.
Oh my God.
But as for like streamer guys having large audiences and obviously like fangirls and all of that, the weird thing is like, I think most male influencers that get that kind of attention, of course there's going to be a bit of ego that comes with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But uniquely in our space, there's a combination of ego and lack of social skills.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm just being dead ass.
No, I didn't
Because I
think
mean,
about that.
because a lot of these guys
They're
like
home.
yeah, they start gaming very young. And if that's what you do forever, like you don't get as much of that social experience. Like for me, I did still go to college. I lived with roommates. I had more of that experience, but not everybody does.
Yeah.
And God bless their souls. Some of them turn out like really sweet and shy.
Yeah.
Some of them go the complete opposite where like they think they are
The shit.
No, I was going to say they're either overconfident, being like shooting
Way
their shot too much, or they're so like just they don't even know how to ask you out or something.
in the past, luckily, again, like some of my stories are from way back when, but in the past, it was like ego, lack of social skills with a sprinkle of sexism. Like the stuff that guys...
Well, it makes sense in that industry.
Yes, exactly. And it comes out like no matter how large a guy's platform is, some of the stuff that guys have said to me behind the scenes, and I still have to like act nice to them, kind of. Like not affiliate with them, but it's tough because at my point, it's like either I am like fully exposing you if I say anything bad about you, or like I have to kind of be nice to you a little bit.
Just like take
It's
the
tough.
high road. Ugh.
But some of them, crazy. Like some of the guys that I was seeing, you would do the smallest thing. Like I think I took a selfie with another guy who streamed, and the guy that I was seeing called me. You guys can believe this word. He called me a whore for a selfie, bro. Yeah.
The audacity.
And I was like, that's it? Yeah. What? At least even in
God
that
forbid you
moment, I was
text
like,
a guy.
I know. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, so yeah, back in the day,
Oh my God.
they had some of these like kind of ingrained sexist ideals, but they also had so much attention and fame that they thought that everything they said was right. So that
they
combo,
had no like
no bueno.
They only had yes men.
That's a thing a lot.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people who have platforms need to realize, like, you can have opinions, but it doesn't mean you're right. You know, like just because you have the platform doesn't mean like
You're
it's
right.
You're right. You know.
And even if like some people agree with you,
Yes, it still doesn't mean
still
you're right.
think critically about the things that you're saying. Be open to constructive criticism. Like, that's all I ask.
What are some other hardships being a girl in the gaming industry?
I mean, I feel like I have a hard time nowadays where I'm like, do I even want to talk about the bad shit?
Yeah.
It's like,
are the
it's
other
not
girls
all
like?
of
Are you
those
friends with other girls in the industry?
I love other women in the scene. Like, God
Good.
bless them. And thankfully, things are so much better now. But also, I have this weird thing in my mind where, like, during COVID, in my opinion, gaming was at its peak.
Oh, I
it
bet.
was
Yes.
beautiful.
That was
It was legit, like, almost everywhere.
Among Us?
50-50. Yeah.
That was huge.
Like, 50% women, 50% men. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a beautiful.
Even I feel like we've seen other like I know Arden was one, like other influencers who were like, oh, I'm gonna start gaming.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've
We
seen.
even did some gaming. We played some Jackbox.
Oh yeah,
I love Jackbox.
My
So
boyfriend, he tried to get us all. It was like peak COVID.
Like, what's
no one was
Discord?
leaving their house. Yeah, he was like making us all get Discord. It took us like
Cute.
two hours for everyone to get it. He was like done by that time. He's like, I don't even want to play anymore because it was like her, like everyone's
It's a
getting
whole
on.
thing.
It was a whole thing. We played like one game.
A
and we were
learning
like,
curve.
We're done now.
Oh, no.
But it's true. It was
That's-
huge.
Yeah, we have like a whole social circle within a Discord.
Really?
Yeah, straight up. But I was going to say, I loved it so much at that point that now I feel like it has shifted a lot more to how it was before demo-wise. And people love like TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, more short-form content. So that's where a lot of the audience is headed.
Got it.
And I have this weird sentiment of like, I'll never have that high
I
again
get it,
if
I
I
get
stay
it.
there,
I
you
get
know?
it. Do you have someone who like you do a stream? Do you leave that stream up? I'm assuming. Do you have someone who then edits it to make TikToks and stuff?
In the past, I did.
You
yeah.
did, okay.
And that's how I grew my platform
I was gonna
so
say.
much. Yeah, you can recycle content infinitely when you stream. Like if you do a 4 or 5 hour stream, that could mean like 5 TikToks or more. By the way, can I just say props to you guys on the TikTok channel?
Thank
yeah.
you.
That's
Yeah.
all her.
Thank you,
That is
thank
Yeah.
you.
You guys are going off.
We don't.
I'm
We
proud.
just talk and we repurpose it.
Yeah.
But thank
yeah,
you.
I think it's one of the smartest ways to like smartest exposure tools. It's just a tool to gain more of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really great.
I feel like I see TikTok as like billboards. Like it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, it's a commercial. Like put stuff out there.
Mhm.
I feel like we should try more for TikTok for like other content, but it's specifically the podcast. I mean, I feel like it's like the best thing we've ever done.
There's
is having the
essentially
studio.
no downside and infinite upside.
Just
So
throw it out
like
the wall, see what
repurposing your
sticks.
content if
Yep.
you want. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, and that didn't stick.
And we'll try
That's
again.
okay. Yeah. But especially when you have someone else doing it, like you don't have to think about that every single
What's
time.
also cool about hiring people to help is like finding what they think is interesting. Because
Yeah.
there's times I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that TikTok or that, whatever. And seeing it do, I'm like, whoa, it really shows you how like it's good to have help that way.
2 brains is better than 1.
Oh my God, 1,000%.
And it's really hard to look at your own content for so long.
Oh my God, I'm so
you
tired
lose
of my
perspective.
voice.
Same.
After year 3, I was like, I'm out. I'm good. I'm
When I
good.
need to like give feedback on something, and I need to watch 15 minutes of myself.
Oh, I don't.
I'm like, ugh.
I put it off for days until my editor's like, hey. I'm like,
I know.
oh, yeah, I'll watch that.
Please, I need notes. We need to upload. I'm like, okay, fine.
Since you do everything else, is podcasting something you want to do, or is that too similar to live streaming?
Actually, podcasting has always been something that I've been really interested in. I kind of tried it 4 years ago, but I found it was way too much to do alongside streaming.
Yeah.
Like thinking of guests, thinking of topics, also coming up with things to talk about that you didn't talk about on your stream. Very hard.
Well, you're pretty much doing like a 6-hour podcast 4
Every
times
day.
a week. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I get that.
But I would still be really, really interested in doing one because I feel like I have so many thoughts and feelings that I have very much yet to share, especially because I feel like within gaming, I mean, I'll still talk about things, but it won't always reach the audience that I want to reach. Like, for example, relating to like self-esteem issues, social media, like the usage of filters, plastics, all these things, I can still talk about them on stream, but they would reach so many more people in any other type of format that might resonate with it a bit more. So I would love to do a podcast someday. I just need to figure out when I have that bandwidth and like
For sure.
excitement
Ease
for it.
into it. But I think you'd be a great podcaster.
You would kill it. Oh my God. I
I'm
was like, do I
honored.
see it just being you? Do I see it with someone else? I feel like I could go either. You're so good at talking.
I could see it just being you, but like with a guest sprinkled in.
I love Emma Chamberlain's podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, and how it's
Incredible.
just like random topics, and you can tell it's essentially whatever
she
was thinking about
You're
that
not
week.
like niched down to one
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
I feel like
my
it's
God.
cathartic for her. Like we put our
Yeah.
problems out. I feel like it's similar to her. It's just like, oh, I feel better now.
Exactly.
And when we started, it was so nice just doing audio because there'd be times we'd be like laying down on each other's couch just talking.
that's so
You know what I
cute.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we waited to do like a big set where I feel like it can be overwhelming starting. So I'm like, you should just try and like record a few and see how you feel.
Do a live stream, rip the audio. That's the podcast.
Yes.
No, that's such a good idea. We're like, just try low key.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, just release a secret episode. Be like,
sure.
People find it, they find it. And
Oh
if they
my
don't,
God.
whatever.
I love that idea.
Actually, I started a secret Instagram. I'll let you guys, if you
Wait.
want. But it's like, it's super private. It has like 10 or 12K followers right now. I am so selective with who we allow in. So it's like, it's mainly girls.
Love.
Obviously, some guys that have been vetted.
Yes.
And that are nice and not like some of the toxic weirdos.
Yeah.
But it's been so wholesome and nice and fun. And it makes me realize like what I really strive for is like the fulfillment in that back and forth when making content. Like I want to be able to put stuff out there and have people like respond or react and feel like it has impacted them in some way and have that back and forth discussion. And having that safe space has been so nice.
Making it feel like how it used to feel 10 years ago.
Exactly.
You know?
And what I realized also, or at least from the DMs and comments that I've been getting on that account, is like, I think people really miss that connection.
Yeah.
Now it's very much like I'm one person and I'm consuming 200 TikToks.
Yeah.
Or I'm watching one video or 5 videos. It's not so much like, oh, I'm saying something, someone's answering, I'm seeing what someone else thinks of it. That kind of back and forth and connection within a community has been a little bit lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a dinner and Michelle Phan was there and like
Oh my God, I love her.
It was this like intimate dinner with this brand and it was like a whole bunch of brand founders and stuff. And we all had to kind of like go around and like give a little spiel or whatever. And she was talking about community and she was saying how just like reply to that DM, like the like community is so much better than followers and like really focus on that. And she was like, it takes 2 seconds just respond to that DM. And I was like, so that's something I'm like wanting to do more because I feel like it's so easy when you're getting like just to forget like how important like that goes so far. And like thinking of the times when like someone even has responded to my DMs over the years where I'm like, oh my God, they saw
I
it.
know,
Like,
it's
it makes the
huge.
it makes your fucking week, let alone like I don't know. So I feel like I love that you said that because that reminded me. I'm like, I need to do that.
It's so true. And I think at some point I started feeling like I'm just like putting stuff out there. And it feels weird to not look at like the second part of that interaction, if that makes sense. And I feel like I'm not that kind of creator. I do know some people. Like I have a friend who once told me something that taught me a lot about myself. He was basically like, I wish I could stream myself to thousands of people and nobody says anything. Like they just come and watch and leave.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, oh, I could never.
You wouldn't like that at all? Do you like the kind
No.
of like banter back and forth?
Interaction is everything to me. Not just banter, but like it feels weird to me to feel like I'm talking to nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I make content, it's not about look at me. It's about sharing and like, how do you feel about this?
For sure.
You know?
Girl, you need a podcast.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You're inspiring me.
No,
But
please.
That's
really
interesting because I relate to even like the times I talk myself like, oh, she should go live. I would much rather do it on TikTok versus Instagram because it feels like people who follow me on TikTok are much more following me versus
Really?
yes, which is funny because I feel like it's opposite. Or even like YouTube, I wouldn't want to go like it's funny because in the end, like I just want like the people who follow me.
That's so interesting. In my mind, people are following me on TikTok because of a random video that showed up on their For You page. Like they don't care about me. They're just like, oh, I liked that video. That's so
But
interesting.
if they
I
tune
think
into your
differently.
live and they watch for a while, it's probably because they're very interested
That's
in you.
true. I've never gone live on TikTok yet.
I think
Oh
I
my
did
God, do
once.
it.
Live scares
Maybe
me though.
live scares
I get
me.
so nervous. Like even
good.
thank you. I feel like when I go live, I say something and then I'll spiral as soon as it's over. I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. I
Wait.
shouldn't have said that.
It just
But
hit me
people
how
love
you
that.
used to go live all the time.
I used to go live all the time. It's because
Really?
I wanted boys to watch.
No,
but now
and
I'm in a relationship,
it
so I don't care
just
anymore.
hit me. I was like, you used to always go live, and I was like,
I want boys to watch.
you used to always go live.
Yes.
When you're just posting for boys.
Yeah,
Now that I'm in a 3.5 year relationship, haven't been live.
No, I was like,
No
we
more
used to
boys.
I like it hit me. I was like, oh shit.
I should though.
I feel like in the past, I used to like not think as much about whether I was getting like female attention or male attention. And now I feel like I've been like burnt out on male attention.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I only really care about the female gaze.
The female
With
gaze.
my accessories. Yeah. Guys are just like, you look hot, mama. And I'm like,
yeah.
Do you feel like you've experienced it on such a high level that like not many people will ever experience? Has it like jaded your view on dating in general or just like men in general? Sorry, I don't know. I
Luckily-
said men like that.
I understand.
I understand.
I think less so dating,
Okay.
because my dating experiences have been very different. And I think I've just realized like there are some people that are just chronically online and they are absolutely not a reflection of like a certain gender or group of people. And you will learn so much more about people when you just go out in person, meet them, give them the time of day. And I'm someone who I love to experiment with my life. Like I do things for the plot for sure. I will meet someone like mainly years ago or like early 20s. I'll meet someone and be like, this is a guy that like I normally do not like, not my type at all. He seems like kind of mean or like weird or whatever. And I'm like, but I'm gonna give him a chance just to see where he goes.
Yeah,
but
just to see what he can do.
yeah, just to see what happens. And I feel like actually what I've learned from that is that most people that you meet, they have their weaknesses and their strengths, and that just is what it is. Most people aren't like terrible deep downs. People do bad things sometimes. But online, people go a little bit too far with it. Yeah. Luckily, thankfully, for my positive male experiences, I don't view it as like a general gender thing.
Yeah.
But I just noticed that like the majority of the issues that I have online and the people who are toxic towards me, like 99% guys, only ever. But also like some of them are like 10 and they don't have like a third brain cell. Like it's not that deep to me.
Yeah, they're just
And
trolling to troll.
I also know like the more I step out of gaming, those problems like whew,
Oh, I was gonna say
even within the last 3 months, like it's amazing.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I can't say it enough. I'm so happy for you.
It makes me happy to see like the joy in
I
your
know,
eyes.
too.
I'm picturing the close up of you just zooming in.
That's amazing, truly. So since your burnout video and coming back and choosing to do things that we want, have you been happier? I feel like you seem very happy.
Yeah, very much so. I do think sometimes I have moments of doubt where I'm like, am I doing the right thing or not? But instead I try to kind of just like zoom out and realize it's better to just be accepting of the fact that I'm in a transitional period.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like before and it's not going to look like my future. And let me just sit in that and like try to enjoy it as much as I can. As opposed to like, I feel like, at least for me in the past, it was always like, what's next? What's my goal? What's my whatever? And there are certain things like you just can't force. Like you just got to give yourself time to explore and figure it the frick out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just like chill. It's going to be okay.
Good. It is going to be
gonna be okay.
You know what's also funny though is because since we're not in gaming, like I know gaming is huge, but in our view of all of the platforms, it's like this little piece over here.
Yeah.
Where to you, that's your whole world. But to us, we're like, oh yeah, that's just like that over here. Where when you see like podcasting or something, you're like, oh yeah, like that's, but like that's like, it's just weird how
we're in like a bubble
different
sometimes.
bubbles.
Yeah.
But there is so much room for all of us to do, and anyone to do so many other platforms or different things, or who knows, maybe like the next thing you do blows up and that's your main thing that you do your whole life. Like maybe gaming was just a stepping stool to like get there. Like that's what's crazy. Even like pretty basic. Like we genuinely like never thought of doing a podcast until it happened. Thank God we did it.
Yeah.
But like that could be yours. Like,
Do you think there'd ever be a time where you just like you closed the book for now or maybe ever on ASMR, you would do the same for gaming? Do you think there's ever a world?
I think so. To be honest, I feel like I'm already kind of like 1 foot out the door by choosing not to upload gaming content on like YouTube or even TikTok.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel like I've hit a bit of like a saturation in that field anyways. And my interests are just changing.
Yeah.
And I'd rather focus and explore on those. But sometimes it's tough because it's like, it's such an easy thing to resort back to, which almost feels like, it's like a trap.
It's comfortable.
Also, I'm sure, you know, getting older and you're thinking about marriage and like maybe kids one day, you're like, okay, do you picture yourself with kids gaming? Like,
not for me,
at
least not as much.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think those 8-hour days have to change. Like, you have to evolve. Like, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Interestingly, though, there are some people who, like, will have kids. And
I was going to ask.
Yeah. They'll, like, stream when they're at school or stream in other parts. And that's totally fine.
Totally.
But I also recognize I don't think that's how I envision me in, like, 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I think that's what's interesting is, like, at one point you had to say, okay, I don't want to do 8-hour days anymore. So you're gonna have to give that up to change and evolve. And then you're like, okay, if I actually don't picture myself, you know, doing that when I have my kid, like what steps do I need to take now? So I don't know. I feel like you're doing it so right.
That's so, so true. And to add to that point, like a big realization for me was almost like bandwidth. Like if I never close the door fully on one thing, you can't really embark on another journey fully or even have the time to. So it's been important to kind of like just accept and eliminate certain parts to even give myself the room to explore. Otherwise, if I'm maintaining this and this, I will have no time to properly devote to something new.
Yeah.
I think like you have to create space for what you want.
For sure.
Essentially.
I know I keep talking about the ASMR thing, but I just think it's so crazy that you closed down the entire channel. But I do think
not just private.
But that must be so nice, like mentally for you to, it's not looming over in the back of your head like, oh, well, maybe I'll go back to that. It's like, I'm done. It's done.
Maybe the last video I made was like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And for about like the 2 years after, people would always be like, oh, are you going to upload again?
Yeah.
Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And every time I received one of those messages, I would just feel kind of bad because I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Well, it makes you feel like a failure for not.
It's a should, not a want. Yeah,
like, oh,
very much so. And then at one point I realized like I'd rather just close that chapter and showcase that to others as well. Because leaving that up almost like invited people to ask for more, right?
Absolutely. When it's closed, they're like, oh, she must not be doing that anymore.
Yeah.
What I love about that is like, tomorrow you could say, I want to make a new YouTube channel for this. And you would do it because you feel so free to open and close. You know what I mean?
I
think we should.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of creators who I feel like they've come to us being like, oh my God, what do I do with my channel? I don't know. I want to do knitting or cooking or whatever. Yeah. And we're like, oh, you should make a second channel. And they're like, no, but all my subscribers are here. And we're like, no, it's okay. Like grow different subscribers. Like that's even the new Instagram. Like that's
the algorithm is much better when you like maintain when you maintain more similar content on one channel or the other.
I love's niche.
Yeah.
Hate it. But we love it, but we hate it.
But we love it.
Fun fact, Ryan Reynolds follows you. You know, he's my like celeb crush.
That's her face.
Really?
And you're in Free Guy. Like casual.
I mean, do you want me to DM him for you or something? I got you, girl.
Wait, was he nice?
I never met him, never spoke to him, which is why I'm like, why did you even follow me? I think probably like for publicizing the movie, which I appreciated a lot.
They're getting it right now, so.
Yeah, they really are. That was smart of him,
actually.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh my God, I love him.
That's probably just like such a bucket list thing for me. Because I've always been like, I'm not an actress. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Like,
but to be in a
low-key, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Maybe this is just hater ass bitch me saying, but I kind of dislike when people gain notoriety and then they're like, I need to be an actress now.
Oh, yes,
I need to be a musician. Yes. I need to do this. It's like, You don't.
Yes.
Like nobody ever gets famous and then thinks that they should become a professional chef.
Yep.
But it should be the same thing because you need to put so much time and effort into any of these crafts, right? So anyways, I digress. But
I think the pipeline is very interesting to watch, though.
It's so interesting.
And I'm like, oh, we're acting now.
We just had
doing this.
Dixie on like a month ago, maybe, and she was saying, she was like, no, I'm a TikToker. Like I hate when people get famous on TikTok and then they're like, no, now I'm a singer or something. She's like, no, like I'm not gonna.
She's a TikToker who likes to sing and
who is also a singer, you know. And I
when people have like
totally
no interest and they're like, I'm just gonna do it for the pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the reason I never felt like I could do something like that is also I have too much respect for the craft. Like I'm gonna just
I
do
would
it now.
with that.
But being a cameo of like myself, hell yes.
Yes.
It's like I got a little taste.
Yes.
Good
what
enough
was that
for me.
like, actually? What was that like?
The experience was like legit. Like a crew of 20 people came into my room, filmed me for like 4 hours, and then left.
And then
But the end product is like I got a little bit in a movie, and that's great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh my god.
Very
Bucket
cool.
list for sure. Check
Bucket list.
Yeah.
Any other bucket list things for you?
Honestly, like my dream very much is just to do more vlogging stuff comfortably. Like if I can get to the point where I can just express any thought, sentiment, feeling that I have and share that with people and have an audience that's genuinely interested, like goals.
I feel like you're already there, though.
It's weird. I don't know if you would call this imposter syndrome, but sometimes I just like, I forget people like me. I don't know how to explain that.
I mean, I get that.
Does that make sense?
That's so wild
I
to
forget
me
that
to
there's
hear.
people online that like actually care. I don't
I
know.
will say
so
though,
crazy.
at least like with our videos, if someone watches and then leaves a comment, like they're at least like watching, they found it, they're leaving a comment. I feel like with lives, it's more like this person's live, watch that. You're getting more strangers comments. So I feel like you saying you're wanting more of that like small community, that kind of makes sense to me. How you're just so used to like random people commenting stuff about you and like you're like, do you like me, do you not? Or like most of our comments are like, I don't know.
Versus like watching your vlogs for a very long time, growing like a relationship with you and then commenting like, how's your dog? Like things like that. Okay, I understand that. It's just crazy because you're so iconic. That's why it's wild for me to hear.
Maybe. Okay, I try to like create distance between me and social media kind of. And I think sometimes when I do that, like I forget straight up. And I don't know why I have like a little bit of that barrier right now where I'm like, should I post this? Should I not?
Yes.
Like, will people
It's very
care?
Hannah
Do you
Montana.
want to?
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, you're
yes.
You're like, I'm cool one day and you're like, oh my God, I'm hot shit. And the next day you're like,
Shit.
like it's
Yeah, and sometimes it's odd because it's surprising. Like I'll send, like I'll tweet or I'll post an Insta story, and when I see nice replies, I'm like, oh my god, there are people that care. Like,
I think you're just
weird.
I think
I don't know.
I think that that's something I think we've taken for granted.
I guess we have.
Because just I don't know. I think for years we like had that small little family that kind of grew with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Which I'm like
in streaming, it's like you start stream and there are regulars, but also as I've done that less and less, like I'm not interacting with the same people every day.
yeah, where we are.
I see.
And a lot of people that watch don't say much.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that do are not nice.
Yeah.
So you lose a little bit of that sentiment. And now that I'm like, oh, I'm streaming maybe once, maybe twice a week, I don't have that sentiment as much. And I'm kind of like, I don't see that
The
connectivity.
return almost as much.
Yes. Well, I see it when I ask for it.
Yes.
But I'm not as aware of it day in and day out. So maybe that's just me moving from having this constant feedback loop to like, oh, now I only have it if I go look at the comments.
That's kind of what I was trying to
Or-
say. It's constant. It's there.
Yes,
like, that's
it
even
was before.
Your content
Yeah.
You're not looking for, you're not seeking
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You need
And
to
that's
seek
what
it a
your
little
content
more.
is engaging with them and be like, oh, you think this, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
That is
Where
so
Yeah.
our
interesting.
content is what we want it to be, and then there's responses of that versus like engaging.
Yeah, if
I were
Does
to-
that make sense?
if I
Yeah,
were to
I
answer
was
a
so
question-
used to like this zoom that now that it's like, it's more peaceful. I'm like,
Quiet.
wait,
Like, what do I talk about?
does anyone care?
Can anyone hear me?
What do people
You're like
want?
brushing your teeth. Like,
Is this thing on?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, even when we answer a question, like if someone asks us a question in a comment, they're not going to get an answer for like a week or so because of the way that we have to film it, we have to edit it, we have to upload it later. Oh, I've like never, I mean, it makes sense, but I never thought about it like
So
that.
I need to get more used to almost doing things differently.
Oh my
to
God.
checking those Insta DMs,
Yeah.
to responding to YouTube comments, to, you know, like asking questions in Insta story and looking at the replies.
Yeah.
And I have honestly really been loving those
Yeah.
kind of dynamics. It's really, really fun.
Okay, so we're gonna have like a hang day where we all vlog.
Yes!
And we can do a vlogging moment.
Yes, please, let's do it.
Oh my God, you guys should take me through like a vlogging boot camp.
No, literally, I was like, we have a vlogging day.
Because there's so many things. Oh my God, I'm trying to film
that's
what I eat in a day.
Oh.
It took me an hour to make breakfast.
No,
Shit was so cold by the time I was done.
Yes.
Like, I'm so new.
Like, I'm hungry.
It's been very humbling transitioning content types. Streaming, put me on the mic.
Yeah.
It's easy.
If we were streaming though, we'd be like,
No, literally, I'd be like, shit, I shouldn't have said that. Oh my God. Fuck. Wow.
oh my God.
Well,
Not
okay, this will be so
accepting
much
just
fun.
That'd be a funny video. We could switch lives for a day.
Let's
And
do
you could be
it.
like, LOL, they don't know how
I
to
want your
stream.
gamer chair. I want to
That'd
sit
be
in
so,
it.
I'll type in your guys' chat. Hey, how are you? You know, I'll like create that interaction for you.
You can moderate. Will you moderate?
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I'd love to.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I know we've gone over and this is a long episode already.
I don't even know how.
I know.
went
I'm
by so
like,
fast.
what? Please shout yourself out for anyone who doesn't follow you.
YouTube first.
Okay,
Vlog channel.
I'm Poki, full username Poki, Mane, Pokimane, Pokimane, whatever. My actual name is Iman. So yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It's been the biggest honor ever. I'll come back anytime you ask.
No,
Please.
anytime.
Tuesday at 11:30 p.m. All
Perfect.
look it over here, you know, anytime. I heckin' love you guys. It's
Thank
been so
you.
fun. I feel like we could just talk for another 2 hours.
Yeah, let's
I
just,
know,
we'll cut the
literally.
cameras and we'll keep chatting.
Next time.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much for coming
So
on.
much fun.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you
for
guys for
watching
watching.
Pretty Basic. We will see you next week with a new episode, and we love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Leave a comment because they read them, you know?
Yes,
Yes.
she's
That
gonna respond to every single
interaction.
comment.
I'll be there too. I'm reading YouTube comments now. Yeah. Yeah.